All right, guys. Well, it says we're live here on YouTube Sunday night, 8 p.m. Uh, Man, it's been a long day today. Oh, been out at the gun club today, helping them set up a charity shoot for Wounded Warriors for next weekend, and we have like 180 folks coming out to our sport at Polk Sporting Clays. If you want to check those out, if you're in the Central Florida area, you want to check them out, polksportingclays.com. Okay. Anyway, charity shoot for the Wounded Warriors. I'm sure he'll have a link over there on his website how you can participate in that shoot if you'd like to come out and support our Wounded Warriors. We had 180 people coming out next Saturday. So I've been over there most of the day helping them get that set up. That's going to be to date the biggest event that they've hosted there at Oak Sporting Clays. Guys, so need a little help there, and I was happy to oblige to support my fellow veterans. So we have a couple shout outs here real quick. And we got Gary McAllister, one of our members over there. Appreciate you. First one in the chat over there. We got John Jones, had a message but retracted it. Jennifer Garfield, hi from Wisconsin. I hope it's way cooler there in Wisconsin than it is here, like 85 degrees. So on top of that, I came home from being out supporting Clays and AC's not working, trying to resolve that. But Mrs. Backwoods, which she's also in the chat there, reminded me that it was time to go live. And Darla A, appreciate you. As last week, you are and Mrs. Backwoods are moderators in the chat. So if we get any more of those trolls like we did last week, you know how to take care of those now. Stan Irvin, he long time subscriber. We appreciate you there, Stan. He's also won a couple of my contests, and you know, I let him know earlier this week that we would be live tonight at 8. That's why I just, even though I got other things to do, I figure we come on here for a little while, try to talk about the subject tonight, which we'll give a couple more shout outs. And while some other people are probably just getting notified, I know I'm moderator on Chef Johnny over at Texas Style Barbecue and Cuisines channel. And sometimes I don't even get the notification till he's already done. It's terrible. All right, we got Chipper's Family Adventures. Appreciate you coming in there. And now we got Al T saying hi. Appreciate all of you guys that have come over and just to listen to me talk here on this live stream. I really never imagined I'd have so many people that just wanted to come over and hear me talk and ask their questions or whatever. John Vincent from Philadelphia. Appreciate you coming in. All right, a few people in here now, so we're going to kick it off and start talking about the subject of the night is camp cooking fuel sources. Now, my number one camp cooking fuel source, that's going to be the campfire. You know, and if you've camped any amount of time, you know that ain't always possible. You can go back and look at some of our camp videos from in the Smoky Mountains where it just rained on like 12 hours. Right, and it happens. Okay, it's going to happen to you. If you camp enough, you're going to have that times where it's just going to not enable you to do a campfire. I think the third day we were there, we were finally able to get enough wood, somewhat dried out to have a decent little campfire. But the most time there, we were pretty much stuck with alternate fuel sources. And I actually did a packing video there telling you to be prepared for that. Okay, don't go to the woods without having some backup. All right, let's give a few more shout outs here. Chef Johnny's in the house. Texas Style Barbecue and Cuisine. If you have not checked out his channel, some awesome truly chef instruction videos on there. And if you like Tex-Mex, he has tons of original recipes over there for you. Textile Barbecue Cuisine. You can actually just click on him, the 3 buttons right beside his name right there, and that'll let you go subscribe to his channel without actually leaving this chat. All right, and we got John Jones from Pennsylvania. Appreciate you coming in. John Vincent, he's from Philly. We already shouted him out. Mac Anna saying hi. Yeah, Leslie Miller's got a question already. You've done many episodes while camping. What are your favorite campsites in the Southeast USA? Uh, man, Long Key State Park in the Florida Keys. That's one that stands out for me. There's also one in Central Florida called Long Point Campground. It's actually a county park. It is just north of Sebastian River State Park. Both of those 2 campsites are awesome. They're right on the ocean. Long Point I like the best because you can actually pull your boat up right to your campsite. And Cades Cove up in the Great Smoky Mountains in East Tennessee. Those are my 3. Well, I'm going to give you one more. Red Top Mountain State Park that's also Georgia State Park. They're north of Atlanta. We had an awesome time there. All right. Okie dokie. So we got Willis Blevins from West Virginia coming in. Craig K. I do propane under rains, easy backup, alt T, lump charcoal. All right, everybody's chiming in with their sources, and you might have caught a glimpse of it. And that's going to be, yep, that's probably going to be my number 1 backup fuel source when you're going camping. A 2-burner Coleman propane stove, a couple bottles of this. I run one on my lantern, one on my stove. These will last you usually more than the time you're going to be camping if you're a weekend warrior. If you're going to stay out there more than a week, bring 4 or 5 of these guys, and you can do just about anything with your cast iron on that double burner propane stove that you can do on anything else. But obviously, number 1, this is going to light every time. It's going to give you consistent heat. And I never go camping without it. And I actually use this on my torch too. I didn't bring it over tonight, but I got the little torch which will actually help you. If you do get a chance of getting your campfire going, you have that torch. You help maybe dry out some tinder enough to get it going enough that you can burn some even wet or damp wood. So don't leave home without some of these guys. I mean, no reason not to get them. I think they're $7 for a pair of them. All right. And all right, we had a couple other people. Texas Style Barbecue Cuisines jumping in here. He says he likes to use old fence posts when camping, and I'm not sure exactly why. Maybe those are the fat lighter, we call them here in Florida. Where the rest of the wood, outside wood, is rotting away, and that heartwood, it has become, the sap's all been concentrated in there, kindling lighter wood, whatever you want to call it. Yeah, pretty awesome. If you can find some of that, make sure you have it, because it'll burn even when wet. You can get it started in the dry, especially when using a little torch on top one of these guys, and that'll even get wet fire. Give you enough heat, get even some little bit damp wood going. All right. Alt T is coming in with his answer, and that'd be lump charcoal. Absolutely. I bring lump and I bring briquettes. Okay. Keep those in the truck, keep them dry. I like keep them in the front of the truck where it's, absolutely dry if you can. And you can always, even that, if you can get a good bed of coals going, even lump charcoal, and again, your wood's wet, whatever you got to gather from, it's going to help you out big time. And obviously, you can bring that charcoal, lump charcoal, up under your canopy like we did out of Cades Cove last year, about a year ago now, when it rained all night. Get that up under there, get it in the dry, and you can still do all your Dutch oven dishes just like we do out here on the porch all the time, up underneath that canopy with that charcoal. So definitely got to have that. All right, let's go back in and see. We got Fowler in here. Hello, back with family. Appreciate you showing up, buddy. All right, and let's see, everybody's saying hi to each other. Now we got Roasterm. I'm Mr. Backwoods. Love your channel. Not a camper, but just love your channel. You rock. We appreciate it, guys. We appreciate everybody that comes over and watches this on a regular basis. Um, Without all you guys coming over here and watching this thing that we're doing is just it. There's no reason to do it if y'all ever watch. Matter of fact, mentioning that I would just post yesterday a video on some hunt, clean, and cook some dove. Gave some great cast iron cooking tips over there. Showed you a little bit of what we did on the duck hunt. I don't know what happened to the video. Some people today I was talking to said they didn't get notified. All right, even though they normally do get notified, it's hardly done nothing, and that's unusual for that type of video for us. So if you haven't checked it out, go back, hit the channel page, or go back and check your subscription feed or in the browse, and see if you check out that video. Alrighty, Twisted Ankle Cooking Team, appreciate you, buddy. I actually competed with him in my very first round of barbecue competitions a couple 3 years ago up in North Florida. Super great bunch of people over there at Twisted Ankle, and we appreciate you guys joining us here tonight. We got CJ's Customs. Hey, asking the questions there. Hey, Backwoods. We had a cast iron chili, cornbread, and dumplings this evening. CJ on the west coast of Wisconsin. Thanks for all your bids. Yeah, man. Um, Appreciate it. I'll keep wiping my face here because sweat's pouring off me. All right, it's really hot and humid here tonight. We had a tropical storm go by yesterday. Rained all night and all day, all night, night before last, all day yesterday. Had a couple of tornadoes near, and now it's just sucked all that tropical air up in here, and it's really hot and nasty. All right. Let's go down here. Remember, if you want to ask a Backwoods Gourmet question, please tag me in the question by just start typing the @ symbol and then start spelling backwards, and it should pop up there. You can click on it, and if you can, please put your question. Also, it's going to make me stand or make your question stand out over here on the side. And hey, if this thing starts rolling too fast, like it does sometimes, I may be yapping like I am right now. I missed your question. So if a couple minutes goes by and you don't hear me respond to your question, go ahead and put the question in again. All right. So not to be dissing anybody, I'm not trying to do that, but sometimes they just go by so fast that I miss them, and it's very difficult for me to back up and try to figure out where the heck we were at. All right, we got Daddy Dutch in the house. Hey, buddy. Appreciate guys letting me in on the hot seat over there. We're cooking with CJ here a while back. Had a great time with that. We did have a few people from your domain come over to subscribe to our channel, and hopefully you had some people from our side come over there and help you guys out with what you're doing. All righty. There's Cook of CJ saying hi to Dutch. All right, so alternate fuel sources. Now, if you're going to be camping out for, we're talking about propane a little while earlier. You know, they make a converter kit for these the devices like the lantern and the propane stove, where you can actually convert this type of connection for your stove into one that will run on your 10-pound regular grill tanks. So we used to use those a lot when Boy Scout camping back in the day, because we might be out there 3, 4, 5 days, especially in summertime camps. So you're going to go through a lot of these guys if you're going to be out there doing an extended camp. And if you're going to be out doing like going to hunt camp, some of these, I mean, like my brother, he goes out 2 weeks from dang row. All right. So definitely, if you're going to do that, you're going to do a lot of cooking. Check it out on Amazon. I will try to go actually find that kit, find you a good deal on that kit. I'm going to put that on my Amazon store. But if you want to try to get it before, just go to Amazon, search for it. But it's the conversion kit from the little 1 pound bottle, the 1 pound to the 10-pound bottle conversion kit, and it will screw right into, it has one connector just like this one here, the one that's on the end of the bottle. And then you can screw that right into your device with your lantern, your stove, whatever it is. And then the other end has the regular, the big lug, like hooks to your regular grill tank. And that will extend the amount of time that you have available to run those appliances with. You probably run a couple weeks on that. All righty. See. Okay, so Rose Serm says, Daddy Dutch, and she says, love Cookie DJ. Watch your collab. Appreciate it. Jeff Thomas, welcome. New person in the house. And he's got a statement here. He says, man's been cooking, and it went so fast. That's one of those situations. Okay, man's been cooking with fire for a few million years. I don't think we need to tell you how to make hot. Probably not. All right. Backwoods. Okay, I guess I missed a question here. Miss Backwoods, help me out here a little bit. She says, Craig K wants to know if you ever camped in Texas, and no, we have not. We have been there. I actually worked there for about almost 4 months, a couple years ago in the Dallas area. Didn't get a chance to see a lot of Texas. We did make a road trip down to Austin to go and see, or actually go and eat over there. What's the cat's name? I can't remember it. Miss Backwoods, help me out. Over there, famous barbecue place. Anyway, it slips my mind at the minute. Franklin's barbecue. Went there. Mrs. Backwoods, after eating my barbecue, was not totally impressed with Franklin's over there. So anyway, all right. Daddy Dutch chiming in here. And like I said, if I missed any of your questions, pop them back in there. I have a Holland companion grill in the RV that I use a 1 pound propane tanks on, and the Masterbuilt propane smoker that uses those two. I rarely use either one, although. Yeah, I've watched a couple of your camping videos over there, and I know you're pretty much like me, pretty much stay bare bones. All right. All right. So B feller say I think I didn't get the Saturday at 12-ish video because of the storms. I see it now. Had to go back to my subscriptions though and take a look back. Yeah, I don't know. There was something really weird that went on with Saturday's video. Went out at 11:45. Normally they just shoot up there. The first night they at least get 2,000 views. This one's less than 800 views. Okay, so that's telling me something's very wrong with YouTube. Something broke there. So if you want to check out that video, just jump back over there on your subscription feed. B Fowler saying it's working now. So, or hit up our channel page. It's going to be right there, first video. Okie dokie. Craig K chiming in on Franklin's barbecue over there in Austin, saying it's overrated. I don't know. It was all right. I mean, I liked it. It was okay, but the brisket was a little dry for us. And got that video up on my channel. You're gonna have to dig down through the videos a little ways to see our particular experience with it. So, all right, let's check this out. David Henson, appreciate you showing up. He says, always love my charcoal when we can, but a campfire is just as good. From North Carolina, keep it up. We appreciate you guys, North Carolina, man. I hope your weather is better than ours is right now. Even though I think you're getting hit with, we got hit with yesterday, all the rain. I mean, it poured here. I think we got 7 inches of rain here yesterday. So, Pills, appreciate you showing up there. I'm going to say, hey, Southern boy, appreciate it. Come to West Virginia sometimes, too. Quite a bit of dispersed camping areas in the western part of the state. Yes, sir. I have not been all the way to West Virginia yet. My son lives in Eastern Tennessee, just south of Knoxville area. So, we're going to try to get back up there this year, but our planned trip for this fall is going to be down to Fort Myers, and obviously we're bringing a boat with us. Going to meet up with one of my best friends in the whole world, lifelong best friend, my Marine Corps buddy, and he's been in some of our videos in the past. So y'all look forward to that. It's coming up first week November. All right, Darla A says she got her notification. But I've talked to several of the people that didn't, so I'm not sure what's going on with it. All right, Daddy Dutch Barbecue chiming in here. He says, gotta have 18 pieces of cast iron skillets and ovens. Is that enough, or do I need more? Asking for Mrs. Dutch. Depends on the variety. Okay. You only need so many 10-inch skillets, but never stop looking for those spider skillets. You see them right there. Never stop looking for a spider skillet. Okay. So I would keep looking for pieces that you don't have that you know you have a use for. And that's what I've kind of I think we got 57 or something like that right now. And a lot of people still send us new stuff. Of course, we do the reviews on. A lot of times after we're done with those, they end up back in a box. They end up back on a shelf in my office back there. And what we've done with some of them in the past, actually, Lodge Cook It All, I actually purchased that out of my own pocket. That was $160. And after I figured out I really didn't have much of a use for it, after doing the reviews, I actually donated that to a veterans charity auction, and I believe they got almost $200 for it at the auction, and that all went to the veterans. All right, we got Rick's Barbecue and Specialties showing up there. Appreciate it. I missed whatever your statement was. Stan Irvin, he's out there, Tucson, and he says it's nice and cool out there. We got Susan Chapman. Appreciate you showing up. She says she got her notice. I don't know if she actually watched the video, or maybe she was one of the 800 that did. All right, let's see if we got anybody new. We got Rick's Barbecue Specialties saying hi to everybody. All right, we got Simcoe Backcountry. Appreciate it. Hello from Washington, PNW. Big Mountains and Big Timber. Love the channel. Simcoe Backcountry. Where is PNW? Promise of New Wales. I'm not sure. Please clarify. Alrighty. All right. We got Chipper's Family Adventures. Just tag me in a comment here. Sorry, I got notifications popping up on top of the chat. What is your opinion of the 14-inch deep Camp Chef Dutch oven for a beginner? I don't have one. Never used a 14 Camp Chef. Our biggest one is 12-inch deep. So if we can try to get that one of those in here, we'll give it a shot. Jared Campbell, long time sub. Appreciate you showing up. He said he got the notification. Keith Gardner, new member. We appreciate you here. And he's asking, what is your opinion on the BSR skillets? To me, them BSR skillets, they're just as good as the Wagners, the old Griswolds, the old-timey 3-notch Lodges. I have a couple. I have a BSR stew pot back there. I have 2 of the old BSR skillets. I use them quite a bit, and really nice, smooth on the inside, smooth on the outside. The castings are really great. So I really like the BSRs. I'm not collecting any more of them, but they'll just because I already have some. But if you see BSRs, I have the one. It's a Century series. It has the little circle with the cross through it. One of the Century series ones. Great pan. Okay, so Simcoe Backcountry says PNW Pacific Northwest. I thought I figured that out last time, but I forgot since then. But yeah, welcome for Pacific North. Welcome from the Pacific North, or to everybody over there in the Pacific Northwest. Me and Mrs. Backwoods were there a few years back, went all the way up to Crater Lake in Oregon, all through Northern California. Man, just an epic trip. There's just no scenery like Pacific Northwest here in Florida. There just isn't. Nothing even compared to it. We did a ride all the way from San Francisco all the way up all the way along the coast, and on a rare, clear day where you could see all the way to the horizon. And we actually watched the sunset over the Pacific. I forget the name of the town now, but it was just south of Crescent Beach, California. Um, but anyway, yeah, pretty awesome. Got some. I would say I got some of that video on YouTube, but I don't think I do. I think that was all a private video we just filmed for and download DVD. All right. I got Chef Johnny. Johnny's having a conversation with Keith Gardner over there. So I'll go to Jared Campbell. He said, I just purchased a 14-inch deep lodge camp Dutch oven, and it's awesome. Great for feeding a lot of people. Yeah, I don't think they even make the 14 anymore. I think they discontinued that a long time ago. So if you got a 14, that's from a while back. So it's probably had a little bit of use on. I'm sure it is really awesome. All right, David Henson. He says, thinking about a Blackstone flat top. Any thoughts? Thanks. Yeah, if you want stuff on the blacktop, got to go check out Chef Johnny. He's right here in the chat. He just got one of those last Christmas, I think. He's been posting a lot of videos using that Blackstone. He's going to show you a bunch of stuff you can do with it, and I'm pretty impressed with it. I just don't know if there's enough really interest over here on our channel for anybody to like. We're already doing so many things. I don't know if that's one more thing that you guys would be interested or not. So if you are, pop us a comment down here. All right. Yeah, Jared says, Jared Campbell says, my BSR is super slick. I like mine. They were super slick when I got them. Okay. Craig K, what is a reasonable price for a 12-inch spider skillet? The one I have is a 10, and it was about $50 at an antique. If you could get a 12 spider, if it has at least like 2.5, 3-inch legs on it, I'll give you $100 for it right now. If it's if it's old, it's authentic, and it's in good shape, and it's not all pitted out. So less than $100, I'll snap that thing up because man, you're going to use that if you're going to camp at all, or even for the collector, even for the camping with that thing, you're going to thank me later. All right, we have Darley David Henson. Wow, we have 3. My hubby's favorite way to cook. I prefer that. Jared Campbell, I just bought it brand new. I guess he's talking about the 14 Lodge. All right, so I'm going to check them out over there, see if they got the 14 Lodge. If so, I will definitely go over there and stick that up on Amazon channel. Oh, sweat my butt off out here. All right, Pickles. Yeah, Pickles has a Blackstone too. He likes it over there. I think he has a couple videos on using Blackstones. So check him out too. If you don't know how already, just click the 3 buttons right beside their chat. You can go and subscribe to their channel without leaving this chat. All right. Jared Campbell says, our Northwest hardware store has a cast iron outlet inside of it. Yeah, and most of the Rule Kings here in Florida, they have a huge selection of iron inside their store. And also Tractor Supplies here in Florida do carry a lot of in-stock cast iron, way more than Walmart or any of them guys do. So let's go to our Simcoe backcountry. I have a bunch of old cast iron that came out of Alaska and Canadian gold fields around the turn of this last century. Any tips on to figure out what it is? Older than my Wagner Ware or Griswold. Yeah, you could have some of that old Blacklock stuff. I don't know, but there's tons of groups on Facebook that you could take pictures of your pans and actually post them onto those groups. You could post it onto our Facebook group because we have a lot of people on our Facebook group that know way more about history cast iron and different kinds of cast iron than I do. They could point you at least in the right way. So, Mrs. Backwoods, maybe if you can post a link to the Backwoods Gourmet group over there in the chat. Only moderators can post links. or if Texas Style Barbecue Cuisine can do it. I don't know if you can find it. But if you can put the link over there, you can go on that. You can go back and watch this later. If you don't have time to do it right now, you go back and watch this later, find the link, click on it. Or you can go into any of our videos, click on the description box, open that up. We have a link to our Facebook page. And then out of our Facebook page, you can post to the Backwoods Gourmet group off of that. Also wanted to remind everybody that Super Chat is enabled for this live chat. So if you'd like to leave us a contribution, right at the bottom of the chat, you'll see a little $ symbol. You can click on that and contribute what you can. When we appreciate anything that you can leave us to help out the cause here. Just spent a bunch of money on camping gear, video gear, lost a day's work on YouTube for helping out the veterans today. So we appreciate anything you can leave there on a super chat. We got Bluegill and Bass showed up, and he says, "Hey, just joined. Appreciate you, Bluegill and Bass. That's another way you can help support us here on the channel. You can hit that join button. Our entry level on the join button is less than $25 a year. Okay, less than $25 a year. It's $1.99 a month. All right, that's going to get you a bunch of perks, a bunch of sneak peeks, a bunch of custom emojis. I wanted to remind everybody that's already a member, Keith Gardner, Darla A. When you're in Super Chat, you're going to have custom emojis that you can use that are just dedicated to the Backwoods Gourmet channel. So if you hit emoji down there on the bottom, you're going to have some different ones that you may not normally have access to. All right. Some Texas Style is telling Simcoe Country Backwoods over there, all the markings on this pants are distinct, and you could check a couple other channels. Cast Iron Chaos has some pretty good information over there. He is pretty much a historian on cast iron. When I first started collecting and getting a few older pieces, that's where I went. All right, so Texas Style Barbecue Cuisine just posted a link over there to our Facebook group. Appreciate that, Chef Johnny. Edmo130 says, love the videos. Appreciate that. Robert. Hi, Cade. He was in here last week. Hey, buddy. I think I said your name right this time. Can't wait to see some camp videos. Just got back from camping spot, setting up the deer stands. Good luck hunting this year. Yeah, hopefully we're going to go do a little bit of hunting in the Green Swamp this year. It's not too far from me over here, and he finally opened that thing up to where it's not completely closed off to only a lottery system. Now it's a first come, first serve this year first, as far as I know. So we're going to have a good place there. A lot of hogs over there. I'd rather go hunt the hogs really than go hunt the deer. But we're definitely going to try to get out and do a little bit of hunting this year. And obviously, anytime we go, we got to take some cameras along. All right. So, Stan Irvin out in Tucson. What if I could, but poor for sure. All right. I guess we're talking about joining up there. Keith Bart Gardner. All right. Hey, there's Miss Darla A. She found the custom emojis. We got crab, we got fish, and we got a mug of beer, and then we got the clinking beers. Well, all right. All right, let's hear some more questions over there on your other ideas for other ways to fire up your camp. Use that campfire. All right, so here's the other one, and I didn't bring it out today, but there's another form of fuel, much like propane. It's butane. All right, and they sell it right alongside of these guys here. And I was actually eyeballing the butane stove. Chef Johnny has one over here on his channel. He uses once in a while. The bottles are about half the size of this and last twice as long. And Coleman actually makes a single burner butane stove, much smaller, much smaller. I mean, it's a single burner. It's probably 12 by 12, maybe 12 by 14 inches. Uses the smaller butane cylinders, about as big around as a can of spray paint. Okay, about the same size as a can of spray paint. It's much lighter, much more compact. So if you got less space to pack up stuff like this, and you want it to last a lot longer, you could try the butane stove. So probably one of the, uh, depending on how everything goes, we might try to pick up one of those stoves and do a little review on the Coleman butane stove. And they also make a small one burner. You can screw on the top up, just to, like if you're backpacking or whatever, you can throw that one little spray can size thing in your backpack. And the little small burner, it's got the kind of a fold out, folds up, so the little parts that hold your pot fold out. You can put a pretty good sized pot or one of those little, mess kits or whatever on top of that, um, and use that butane if you can't, if it's too wet, anything to run uh, the, any kind of wood or anything. All right. So Texas Style Barbecue Scene's running in here, and he's saying, "Have you ever filled the 1 pounders from the bigger one tanks?" I have not, but I know there's a kit to do that with, and I've actually seen the videos. Now, I used to actually fill my 5 pound or my 10 pounders out of my big 200 pounder out. I used to have. I rigged up a little deal where I could fill those about halfway full, at least until the pressure equalized. I used to use that for spa heater. We never used it, and it still had a lot of gas in it. So yeah, I know there's kit you can do that with. I've seen that on Amazon, so I'll find it. I'll try to throw it up on our Amazon store where you can actually refill these guys instead of just throwing all this steel away every time. Seems like a real waste. And really, the garbage man don't want you putting these in the garbage. For obvious reasons. They might have a little leftover gas in it that they could blow up, something run over it or whatever. All right. So, yeah, Stan Irvin, appreciate that comment. Uh, Stan Irvin says, "How about the old school Coleman with the pump up fuel?" Absolutely. That's the one I grew up using. And that was you kind of beat me to it. That was going to be the next thing I was talking about. Good old Coleman fuel stove, where you had to pour in the white gas, a Coleman fuel gas, and you got the one with the little tank you had to put in there and got the pump up on the end of it. And we actually did a video showing you how to operate one of those old school pump up fuel stoves back a while back during the hurricanes. We're showing you how to cook on camp stoves after hurricane when the power's out. And they actually, Chipper's Family Adventure is chiming in right now. The newer ones now are most all of them are dual fuel, so you can actually run those either on the Coleman or camp stove fuel. I still have the lantern too, the same deal. The pump up lantern with the dual mantles in it, and those always worked awesome. But that most of them come with the dual fuel carburetor on, so you can run a super unleaded gas, or right out of the pump, or the Coleman fuel on them, and both will work just fine. But those old pump up stoves, I mean, man, this things have been around. The one I have is the same one that my dad had when I was probably born, or before I was born. All right, and they still make all the parts to rebuild the little pumper. Sometimes a little gasket in it, a leather seal in there will get all dried out and it won't work anymore. They still make the carburetors, uh, and that's pretty much anything that is ever going to go wrong with that stove. And those things have been around since before World War II. The first ones were made to actually go with the troops over into Europe during World War II. All right, so they're awesome stoves. And like I said, I still have one in the house. It's my backup here at the house for hurricanes. And and I always keep a gallon of fuel around. A gallon of that it's gonna last about 8 or 10 times longer than one of these. Okay, a gallon of fuel for the old pump up stove. Hey, Dutch is coming on in here, and he says about a $20 adapter to fill those 1 pound tanks out of the 20 pound grill tank. Key is to put the empty #1 tanks in the freezer. It will lower the transfer, or it will help it transfer into the tank. A great idea, because if you put these in the freezer, that's going to make this pressure inside decrease, because the volume of air inside is going to decrease and create more of a vacuum and help more of the propane flow into it, because obviously it's only going to flow into it until the pressures between the two tanks equalize. All right, deal. Alrighty. Texas style barbecue cuisines chiming in here. He says the Coleman stove I use is from 1971 and still works like a champ. Yep. Thing's pretty much bulletproof. And like I said, they still make all the parts for it. So if you got an old one that don't quite work so great no more, check out Amazon. I even seen, I think they got the rebuild kit for them right in Bass Pro Shops right in Academy Sports right now. All right. Chipper's Family Adventures tag me in this or statement. He said, never use gasoline in the dual fuel. Does it make your food taste bad? Uh, Most times you're cooking in a dual fuel uh, 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 camp stove, you're cooking in some kind of pot vessel. I have never had that any kind of issue. Dual fuels, you run, remember, super unleaded gas in it, very, very close to the actual same gas that's in the Coleman fuel. Okay, but no, I haven't had any issues with that. Darla A is chiming in with Daddy Dutch about filling those bottles. She says doesn't get as full, but I'm going to try Daddy Dutch's freezer tip. All right, well that's what we're all here. Everybody's learning from everybody else. Uh, Daddy Dutch says he learned it from the best chef, and I'm not sure who he's tagging in that particular statement. Well, guys, it's really hot out here tonight. I'm telling you that. So, all right. So, if you got any more questions, suggestions, or want to add in any way to this conversation or to any of the conversation over in the chat, please do so. I think we've covered pretty much all of the different types of fuels that we could use. Now, the one we have not covered yet is one that I've used backpacking, and I wish I had the forethought to go yank a couple out, but the little sterno cans. Okay, they're little sterno cans. You can buy them at the grocery store. You can get them any places sells campus stuff, Walmart, anywhere of those places. Those little sterno cans are really, really light. They're really, really safe. They're alcohol based fuel. And if they actually make a little stand, a little very inexpensive stand that you can put on top of the little sterno can after you light it, and where you can put on like a canteen cup or one of your little small backpacking stainless steel type containers, where you can make your coffee, where you could do a rehydrate meal. I mean, there's not going to be the amount of BTUs in that thing like your butane or your propane type little camp stove. So it's going to take a lot longer. But if you're looking to save weight and you're looking to save volume in your packing, then those little sterno cans will work just fine. They're just going to take a lot longer. They're going to take probably, if even if you get that little stand, it stands your little tin or whatever off the sterno, probably going to take you, excuse me, probably going to take around 10, 12, maybe even longer, depending on the humidity, minutes to boil a cup of water or a cup and a half of water. They stay at a very, very low controllable flame. like I said, they're very safe because the fuel inside is a solid, it's a gel basically that has alcohol in it. So there's nothing to spill, there's nothing to dump out, there's nothing to get punctured. Um, so I mean, a lot of people that climb these big rock walls and stuff out west, that's what they use when they're hanging off the side of a mountain on a stupid rope and a hammock. It's the little sternos. Okay, so don't forget about those. I usually throw a couple in my box, and I do it just for grins. I mean, if I'm gonna go on a, we're off on a place somewhere, I might throw that in a backpack or whatever, going down a creek. Or, hey, you never know. I got my little mess kit back there. Might catch some, a fish on the way and decide to want to fry them up on the bank. Like I said, not a lot of BTUs, but it's enough to cook what you want to do. It's enough to make a cup of coffee, as long as you got a little bit of time. Okay. But sterno would be, that will kind of be my last choice as a camp fuel. But it also, I tell you one thing, all chefs use it. Hey, Chef Johnny will tell you right now, when you go to a banquet or somewhere and they got the whole spread laid out on those big hotel pans with the tops on them, you look underneath them. Every one of them got a can of that sterno running under there, because it makes very very little carbon monoxide for one, even though you really shouldn't burn it inside of a tent. Makes very little. It makes zero smoke because it's alcohol. Okay, it's an alcohol based fuel. Zero smoke, um, decent amount of heat, and no real odor at all. No, you can just, you can hardly even smell it all. You got to be very very close to it to even smell it all. But those little sternos, they're good. They're good backup, and they also work really good if you're just need to keep something warm. If you're cooking ahead of time, you can actually set one of them up right on a picnic table. Throw the Lodge 4-in-1. I thought I had it handy here. Let's see, I can find it. Hold on, let me see my belly. Yeah, take that Lodge 4-in-1 right here. Put your little sterno can under there. Set your skillet on it, and that will keep your whatever you cook. Yeah, I don't care how cold it is. All right. So if you cook something and it's real cold outside, you want to keep it warm, take your Lodge 4-in-1 there, put you a sterno can underneath that, and just burned a campfire on it the other day, so it's pretty black. So I got that out of the way. So that's pretty much the last one now. The other, I guess the last one I wanted to really talk about, we only got about a few more minutes here. Um, let me get back to, before we get into that, let me get back into some new folks in here. Give them a shout out. That's Andy Shrim. I'm just beginning into cast iron. I have a 10-inch skillet, a 10-inch shallow camp oven, a 10-inch deep flat bottom Dutch oven. Any need for bigger pans for two people? No, buddy. You got it pretty much covered right there. If you're cooking for two, only thing I would add to that, I would add a 10, or no, I'm sorry, I'll take that back. An 8-inch deep camp oven. The camp Dutch oven with the legs on it. For doing more like your desserts, for cooking stuff like pasta dishes and stuff like that. The number eight, the number 8 deep, I find myself going back to that for mountain man breakfast every time. A little bit more depth on it gets your food a little further away from the charcoal and gives you a little more chance to cook all the way through without getting the top too brown. Of course, you could do that with your shallow 10, just controlling the top heat. But I really, really, just cooking for me and Mrs. Backwoods here now, I see myself going to that little number 8 all the time. Go back to my channel. One of my very popular video is Mountain Man Breakfast for Two, where we use the 8-inch deep oven to cook just Mountain Man breakfast for 2 people. Okay. So yeah, great question, Andy. I appreciate you chiming in on that, because you go to look at a lot of these YouTube channels and a lot of these YouTube videos on Dutch oven cooking. They're just cooking everything in a 12. They're cooking an enormous amount of, and that's great. But you know, a lot of us don't have that many mouths to feed, and really would like to scale it back. All right, let's get back to it. David Henson, I found some fuel cans for fake fireplaces at a, and then there's nothing. So I'm not sure. I'm gonna try to put that back in there. Uh, Mr. B. Fowler says if you buy a Lodge 4-in-1, buy two. Hold on. They're awesome. Yeah. I also think if you buy two of these, if you buy two of them, you can also put them side by side and actually run the Lodge cast iron griddle on top of it. Even more awesome. I'm actually going to get another one just to do that with because right now I only have one. All right. Rob Slagle. Appreciate you, Rob, for stopping in here. When did Lodge make a camp oven that didn't have feet? I've seen a couple in our scout troop, and they said they got them about 6 years ago. I don't know why anybody would have bought it if it was a camp oven without feet. It could have been a mismatch. I'm not sure. So I don't know if that was on purpose or somebody mismatched the pots. That's possible. Sometimes people pick stuff up in yard sales and garage sales and it gets mismatched. I actually bought one in an antique store that had an antique camp lid on it made in Mexico. Gate mark, really old, but the bottom pot was flat bottom. And after getting all the crud off of it, I ended up finding out that was made in Taiwan. So one of those mismatched things. All right. Dav 1099 says Mountain Man breakfast rocks, and you're right, man. It's like still one of my favorite things in the world. And we got several variations of that Mountain Man breakfast over there on our channel. And I actually been teaching some of the millennials I've been doing some camping with Florida Overland, Florida. Check those guys out, Overland, Florida. If Mrs. Backwood could drop a link to Overland, Florida's page, uh, YouTube channel in the comments, that would be appreciated. Check those guys out. They're millennials. They're just learning, but we did a camp out with them last about it was last spring, and I can't believe how far they've come since then. They're out now. They're getting Dutch ovens, real camp ovens. They're baking their own pies. They're making biscuits. They're doing. I'm so proud of them. I'm so proud of Kevin and Ron over there, Overland, Florida, because they're before they kind of hooked up with us. They were. It was pretty sad. It was pretty sad. But man, I just watched their latest video, and they got out the Dutch ovens now, and they're cast iron, and they are definitely have stepped up their game, stepped up their game. Okie dokie. Let's see if we got any questions over here. Give me a sec. Rob Slagle says I used them with the 4-in-1 when I borrowed it. Okay, not sure what's going on with that question. If that's a question or statement. John Vincent is asking, what's the black lock box behind you? Man, if you haven't checked that out, we are currently reviewing a lot of the new Black Lock series from Lodge. We've been doing a comparison between their pans, and we've also done a review on their brand new griddle. It's thinner, lighter, and triple season from the factory. So far, we've been digging. Okay. 5 more minutes here, so if anybody's got any more questions, go ahead and throw them up on the chat here. Remember to tag us in the Backwoods Gourmet. Also, remember that super chat is still enabled if you'd like to contribute to these live streams. We keep doing them over here. And we got, Rob Slagle saying, I make a Mountain Man breakfast every time I car camp. A shallow 12 will feed 8 adults easily. Yep. I use another shallow 12 to make 3 cans of biscuits to go with it. That is a serious. That's some serious rib sticking food right there. Uh, you know, you get that mountain man breakfast down your belly in the first thing in the morning, you don't even need to stop for lunch. Okay, so yep, it's pretty awesome. Chuck Chuckles, appreciate you showing up, and he says, I'm a I'm a post millennial 1997, and I cook all kinds of stuff in my Dutch ovens. They do seem to like a yuppie type to me. LOL. I love both y'all's channels. Yeah, well, those guys, they all kind of got office jobs. They work in law enforcement. Uh, in I think it Kevin, the guy that runs the channel, he used to be, I believe, a deputy, but now he's in corrections. And I know Ron's in state corrections, so pretty much they pretty much work inside all the time. But they love what they do, and they're not afraid to fail. They're not afraid to get out there and try new things. They're not afraid to jump off in the mud hole with the trucks, and just kind of live life, you know. So I have to hand it to them there, and man, they they're just fearless, and they love doing it. I've seen it firsthand. Um, sometimes you got to kind of pry the technology out of their hand a little bit and actually get them to pay attention to some of the old school stuff. But they're learning it. They're learning it just like my kids. My kids grew up with it, but you know, uh, technology is making things a lot easier to do these days than it ever has been. All right, guys. So it's 8:08. We have been on here for 58 minutes. So I appreciate every single person that has come on tonight and chatted with us. James Smith saying hi. I'll try to give you a shout out right as we're going off here. But we got some things to do. I got a video over there, actually right here on this computer that we shot yesterday. Still got to do some editing on that. So it's 8 o'clock here tonight. It's real hot. Got some stuff to do. So, and I'm tired from helping out the gun range all day, getting ready for the Wounded Warriors to come out. I got 180 Wounded Warriors coming out to shoot at our gun club um, for Sporting Clays next weekend. So, getting ready to do that. So, we appreciate everybody showing up. And as always, here at the Bay, you need to fish, hunt, cook, eat, and live. We'll see you next time.